Alright, we're getting ready to work on the big green LTD. I have named it Geraldine. What we're going to do is work on the check a leak. There's a leak in the diff. It's probably coming out of that front seal, that pinion seal. And we're also trying to stop a gas leak in the tank, a new tank. And we're going to try to troubleshoot why the fuel gauge does not work. So let's get to it. Yeah, we already got her jacked up. Alright, we're under the LTD. And this is a sweaty weld joint, which means somewhere in here, most likely up in here, and it can be several places, but it's as high as up in here. Some of the gear loop's sweating out through the weld, which means I should grind it down and find that thing. But what's worse, sorry for the finger in the camera. Oh goodness, I'm having trouble here. Okay. What's worse is that right there. That's coming out with pinion seal. So what we're going to try to do is go up here to the top of the housing. This right here is a vent tube. It's supposed to allow the rear end to vent. It's pretty flexible feeling. It's probably okay. I'll try to pry that little clamp open, get that off. The clamp spins pretty good, so that'll come off. And then we're going to take a wrench, pull this fitting out right here. So we'll get the tube and the fitting out, and we'll check them for clogs. Mud daubers like to get into the end of this tube, which is supposed to be hiding in the frame somewhere, and it's going to the other side. You can kind of see where the things are going. We just got to make sure this is open and clear, and I suspect that it's not. And that'll cause sweating. It'll actually cause pressure to build up, and it'll shove it out the pinion seals. So we'll pause you and get to work in here. Alright, I have the tube off. And this fitting looks really nice. The tube itself is very supple and very not tore up. You can see the clamp. It's one of those pinch kind. Because all it has to do is hold it onto that little barb there, which needs to focus. Focus, there it is. It just needs to hold it on that, dude. And so all I did is spread it open with a skinny screwdriver. Pull it off the hand. I'm going to have to blow in this goofy thing or put an air line to it. This fitting, I'm trying to get out. I had a wrench on it there and I got it broke loose a little. And yeah, it'd probably work better if I had a, there you go, focus. There it is. It's going in and out of focus on me. I'm hoping this is clear. I hope it's the end of the tube that's plugged, not this, because that means there might be daubers or something that crawled in, went down in the rear end. You gotta be careful when doing this too, because when you open this, it's a 1/2-inch hole straight into the rear end. And a lot of these are actually mounted on the axle tubes. So this is a 73 4/9" and an LTD. And this is the kind that has what we call a panhard bar in it. That right there attaches to that side, passenger side of the housing, goes over to the mount in the frame. Let's see if I can Gotta get my finger out of the way. I want to cut away and get this off and show you the rest. Alright, we got it out. Come on, focus, focus, focus. She won't focus. I've got to do something about this focus problem under here. There it is. Very nice, very clean, and I don't know if there's a way for you to see this or not, but you see that little hole? It's a clean orifice, and it's just a tiny one. So that's clean. Now I need to check the tube, and I have to put this back in the rear end. So let me see. I'll have to cut back to you because I can't see anything up there. Alright, we're back to, we got the thing back in, nice and tight. Let's just check it to make sure. I was talking to the wife there. Let's just make sure. Yeah, I can't turn it no more, so that's pretty good. And this dude here, we got a, I gotta blow through there with something. Yeah, I'm probably gonna blow on it with my dirty lips and get that all messed up. But let's give this thing a try here. You guys can look at the ceiling. And I can't get my face in there far enough. One cut away. Let's see if you can hear this up in here. She's clear. So what that means is this thing here is leaking, which is bad. That there is a solid piece of steel, and the seal is up under there. In fact, that right there might be the lip of the seal, but the seal's protected behind this. It's supposed to, you know, keep things from getting in there and tearing it up. But the seal is 51 years old at least. Been in there that long, and so now that means the LTD needs the pinion seal replaced. I don't like doing that because you gotta get in down in here where the nut is and try to mark something. So when you put the nut back, you're right in the same spot and you're not over torquing or crushing that sleeve more and changing the. But hey, you know, this thing may be sold. It might need a new crush sleeve and things like that, but I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna get in there and do that. Now the next thing we gotta do in this little tiny video is, can you guys see all this brown stuff here? Going down and down. It's on the bottom of the tank. That's where fuel came out. Yeah, that's brand new tank, brand new sending unit, and I'm pretty sure I installed that unit when it was in the garage. So if that seal is not in there right, that was me messing it up. But I'm hoping that's all it is I messed up a seal. And if I figure that out, I also have to go look for the other seal I got that goes in here. Because if it's messed up, it'll be warped and it'll be hard to get into place. It might be out around somewhere and then never seal again. So, don't cut away from that and get to working on it. Alright, I got something to show you here. So, that small line, that is that's your turn line for up under the hood where the metal line comes from the pump. There's a little pinched line coming off the side of that has a small orifice, and if there's too much pressure it will push it through this, push it through this line here, this little one, back into the tank right there. But check this out. I was wondering what's going on back here, and I don't know if you can see right. Look right in there. Look at that. I don't know what's going on here, folks, but that's definitely a source of my leak. So if I get my gas too high, or if it splashes up there, it'll come out. And so we gotta finish taking this out. I'm gonna end up getting gas on me when I take this one loose, and that sucks, because this little itty bitty one was holding a little fuel in a low spot here. And that stinks. But look how terrible that is. This stuff's all brand new. I bought this several years ago. If I turn that, it goes down into place. But now I want to see why there's so much play in there. And you can see it's tight. It's tight up in there. A little thin rim there. And can't tell if this is all shadow or if this is, you know, yeah, it's way off center is what it is. And there's the tab again. You can see the edge. I'll make it move one more time. Look at that. That is really hard to believe. So I gotta get this off. Be back. Alright, I got a clever little tool that they made me back in the day. It's a little tiny pair of vice grips. See this? They welded these two steel rods on. Well, they come together like this. Yep. Sound effects included. So you get it over your line like that right there. And you squeeze it. You don't want too much force, but you want just enough to close that inside against itself. Now, this is gonna spit a little fuel out. I hope not very much. The last line, that one got me. So I'm gonna kind of disappear here to the side. Everything's to the side. Line is way down on there. Not a lot of room. I know I struggled when I put that thing on, but here we go. I'll probably get this in my armpit. You know how that is. I'm trying to avoid the armpit spray. I guess I just can't get away from it. There it is. It's emerging. Right there on the edge. Come on off there. No fuel yet. Still a little ways to go. Gosh. What a pain. Oh, yeah. It's just slightly moist. Awesome. Now the other problem. Sorry about that. The other problem is cracking that ring loose. And you don't want to use a screwdriver per se. You can totally mess those up for life. What I mean is you have to buy a new one. So I tried to get a blunt edge. Here's a big 1/2-inch drive, and I don't think this is going to take a whole lot. Look at that. Yep, that's not going to take a whole lot. And you know what? I can't tell. I should have looked at this closer, but well, there's a little bit of fuel drip. Not much. Came out my thumb and hit my armpit. You know, that's the default place to go, is the armpit. The other thing I have to do is get this out, which looks like it might be a nightmare. I gotta get it out. There's a little drip. Gotta get this dude out. Yeah, drip, drip, drip. I don't like that. Oh, that's coming from the... So you see that little orange doodad dripping fuel right there? So that's a pinched little valve that's normally closed until there's pressure on it. So right now, a little bit of fuel that's still in this return line. I can't see if you can, yeah, that one right there. A little bit of fuel is still in there. It's trying to come out now. But I don't have, I have a full gauge all the time, and I never filled it up. At least when I got to that point there, it started dripping out one day. So now I got to get this out, and oh, that looks like fun. Oh, there's the big obnoxious part. Now it's the sock. All I got left is the pickup, the float and the pickup. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I gotta remember how this goes back. Check that out. I gotta turn it like that. That sock is... Well, I'm gonna have to break away, guys. I'll get it out here in a second. Gotta use both hands. Well, can't find my digital. Can't find digital tester. Let's see. What setting do we use? I don't know. I know it ain't volts. What is this? Is this our resistance right here? Let's touch our leads. Well, pretty much no resistance there. Let's see if that's what we need. I'm not an electrician, so I'm going to poke this lead in here and try to hold it with my camera hand. And reach over here. Touch that. No resistance. Well, that's with the float on that position. Let's try this position. Let's try this again. Oh, y'all ought to try this sometime. It's not easy. Yeah, same darn reading. Maybe that's not what I want. Yeah, I hate analog meters. Let's try the 10K. Tell me what I'm doing wrong here, you electricians. You should know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I'm going to find I'm going to find a spare hand or something. Okay, now there's a different reading there. Let's see. Let's flip this back here. Let's see if we get a different reading here. Oh, much different. Okay, that's good to know. I had to use the 10K setting. So the needle come here when the gas is near empty, and when the gas is full, the needle come to You can't even see that. So needle came over to here around this little 6 on the green scale here. When it's empty, no, when it's empty, and when it's full, the needle came to right over in here. I think that's functioning, but I was told that the ground is not grounded. It's just, so I may have a wire loose somewhere in the mix. If that's the case, I'm going to try to establish a new ground specifically for the tank. And I got to get this back in, and I don't like this goofy seal. It was perfectly shaped. It wasn't missing out of shape. I think all that moving around, I think the ability for this piece here to move back and forth in that slot was not good. These little tabs here are tabs that are supposed to keep it aligned, but there's nothing keeping it from shifting back and forth. I'm hoping I can remedy this here real quick, get the gas leak stopped at the very least, and maybe figure out these problems here. Alright, so I get full needle all the time, and it's threatening to rain on me from behind here, so I may have to run for cover. Yeah, we'll be back to this here in a little while. I'm going to turn you off. Alright, we're going to try to go back, put it back, and get it to where it seals. My voltage with the ignition turned on and the plug plugged in, the voltage at the plug is almost 11, and when I hook it to the unit, plug it in there and start moving stuff around, it just goes haywire. The voltage starts jumping all around. I don't quite understand that, but I'm going to do some studying and see if I can figure that out. So we got to put this back in. Unfortunately, I got only 2 hands. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, folks, I want you to see something here. I tried to look in the first part of this video, and what I found was right here. You see the space? This is a retainer ring. This is one of the little tabs. There's another tab that you hit to drive this around when you're tightening or loosening. If you look right here, I have no flex now. I have no movement. This ding dong, when he put this in, the one that's talking to you, did not get this advanced to where there's a little turn up right there, and it's supposed to land against the bottom of that. This stuff was, this was like, oh, this tab was over here, which meant that was over here, which meant this whole thing was really just loose. So if I got the gasket in the right place, and I cannot tell from here, absolutely cannot tell. I cannot tell if the gasket's in the right place, but I feel it is. It was going in nicely, but that was a pain to get that started. So now that that's advanced all around, that should have solved my gas leak issue. Now, I've changed shirts because I stink like fuel, and I'm going to try to get that line back down, because for some reason there's fuel, probably from the heat of the day. It's expanding and coming back into here, so I have to get that back on there and get the one I pinched over here back on there, and plug up my lead. And I've tested everything on that lead. Everything seems to work right, except I got crazy voltage earlier. and I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to check other things. Hopefully after fiddling with this, the gas gauge will actually work. So, yep, I'm gonna drop you now, turn you off, and go to work. All right, all those are tightened, everything's fastened. I'm not gonna know if I did a good job getting the rubber in here or not until I put some fuel in it. So I basically have to put a little gas in it, wait and see if it's gonna drip. Guess I could clean that junk off too, but usually a drip is a dead giveaway. You know, to leave a puddle on the ground. So let's go up to the top side and hit the key and see if the gas gauge is magically working again. And oh yeah, I found my digital scale here. Yeah, that is not what I'm holding this with. That is just a helper. Don't freak out for my safety. That's the last, there's the last line of defense. Oh, yeah, I built this. I built this ring in here. I took what was rusted away and made a pattern, and I cut holes and I hammered these fold downs to give this rigidity. I actually sent a picture of all the stages I did to Fitzy. He said it took a lot of pride to do something like that. And it was just downright stubbornness on my part. Yeah, we'll get those tools after a bit. Still got the jack under it, and I got my jack stand. Yep. We've been down this road before. I don't think this is gonna change. I did lose all of these lights one day. I lost all these except for this crazy fasten seatbelt light. It seems to work. Probably even after a nuclear holocaust, that light will work. Well, yeah, she's still racing to the top. It means I didn't fix it. Alright, I'll have to dig deeper into that, but if it's that sending unit, trust me, $118 gets under your skin a little bit when you buy something brand new and it don't work, but I'm still not done checking things. So, well, that's it for this video, and I will catch you all later. There's the big old car. Did we fix this? Did we fix the leak? You see those drops? See that fresh drip hanging off of there? We did not fix this leak. So I gotta do that all over again.